said no.
No, I want my money. I said
no. Now get out of here.
You went and did it. I might need that money tonight. I've never had pains like this before. Oh, this is the worst one I ever had, son. Oh, it's the worst one. This is a big one. I'm dying. You hear that, Elizabeth? I'm coming to join you, honey.
On January 27th.
The big one is coming, but it's not coming to Sanford and Son, party people and party sheeple. The big one is due on the West Coast. Are you ready, California? I mean, it's bad enough they're burning you out. Directed energy, they're chemtrailing it to get the surface really desiccated, dried out, and then they light the match, right? Or use the laser, or smart meters. But they burn you out. Now they're going to earthquake you out. The big one's coming to the to the West Coast, including California, libtarded Oregon, and Libby Lou, Washington State. Are you prepared, Southwest Washington? Are you prepared, Oregon? Are you prepared, Californians? Experts say area is not ready for major catastrophic earthquake. Major catastrophe. Recommend learn how to survive. You better learn how to survive. You better learn not just with earthquakes, but with food shortages, the water supply getting cut off, the lights going out like in California. Take a look, man. Take a look at the West Coast. 5.5 minutes is about how long it takes to microwave a pot pie or listen to Billy Joel's Piano Man. It's also how long the intense shaking from the Cascadia earthquake. It'll last about 4 or 5 minutes, and it's often referred to as the big one. 20 some odd years ago, I would say around 1990, I remember because we were living in Wyatt Road, we lived in Sonoya, and I was in my bedroom, and there was a big special. A bunch of scientists. It was a big to-do. No, I'm sorry, it was in Tennessee, that's right, I was in Tennessee. Regardless, I think it was 1995. But it was a bunch of scientists, and they were talking about the big one coming. The big one's coming. But that was over 20 years ago. Now with everything being ramped up, the chemtrails, the rollout of the 5G, the GMOs, the vaccinations just running rampant. I mean, by the time your kids, 18 years old, 72 doses of vaccination, something along the lines of that. It's a lot more than I had when I was a kid in my lifetime. Also, what else are we looking at? Crafted tap waters. I mean, the toxins in that are even worse. And then you got earthquakes, And this one's going to be a humdinger, a 9.0 or higher. If it hits it hit Japan, but if it hits the West Coast, it's going to cause, I don't know, they're saying upwards of $150 billion, I think, something along the lines of that, in damage. Somewhere along the lines of that. And the West Coast is apparently overdue. Now, you should be concerned about this. Very concerned about this. Because they could bring about an earthquake anytime they want. So be very concerned. Experts say a similar earthquake to the one that hit Japan is overdue and should be expected to hit the Pacific Northwest within the next century, if not sooner. Let me just stop right there. Whenever they say something like, the world's going to end in 100 years. No more animals. They'll be extinct in 150 years. No, it's happening now. Anything they say is happening in the far-off future, it's happening now. If they say it's happened before, no, it didn't. It's happening now. It's going to happen. They know it's going to happen. Will they make it happen? Of course they will. I mean, you better head for the hills, but you know what? There's a lot of satanic things going on in that neck of the woods, so yeah, there's that. Burning them out and earthquaking them out. So researchers from regional universities, geotechnical engineers, and emergency response agencies expect the earthquake to wreak havoc when it hits, bringing about the collapse of roads and bridges and rendering electricity and water infrastructure useless. So, a ticking time bomb is what you're looking at. A ticking time bomb. That's the big one. It ain't coming to of Sanford and Son. It's coming to a Libby Lou state near you. The Pacific Northwest will get it, and it sits on the Cascadia subduction zone, which stretches from the north end of Vancouver Island to the British Columbia to Cape Mendocino, California, a distance of 620 miles. Cascadia is the meeting point of the smaller Juan de Fuca plate and the large North American plate. As the two tectonic plates clash, one is forced under the other, hence the upheaval. So there's a lot of upheaval everywhere. Upheaval in the political sphere, upheaval in the freaking earthquakes. I mean, things are really ramping up. A 30-second earthquake reaches 7 or higher on the Richter scale. Let's see. While a 2-minute quake reaching 8 or higher. By 4 minutes, an earthquake is at 9. So it shows you how it gets stronger and stronger, I guess, as the earthquake is, depending on how long it lasts. So it's going to wreak havoc, folks, and it's coming. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to live anywhere near anywhere where they're predicting an earthquake. All right? If they're saying it's overdue, I wouldn't sit on my laurels and take it lightly, because it's going to, first of all, a tsunami. I mean, how many feet are we talking about? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 feet tall tsunami on 9.0. You JKing me? You freaking kidding me? Well, you can leave the Libby Loos there, but I suggest you Christians and conservatives get the heck out of Dodge. I mean, I'm going to leave it at that. Let them have their Seattle roast coffee as they get flooded out by the freaking tsunami. Let the Libby Loos and the Luciferians, and you left your needles in San Francisco, let them, let them deal, if you know what I'm saying. All right? But if I were you, I lived in California, or Oregon, or Washington State, I'd get the heck out of Dodge. I mean, there's really no reason to be there anyway. It's ran by commies. They're running the states into the ground, especially California. I can't say so much about Washington State, but I know California's going down the shitter. All right? So, how prepared? It sounds like Washington State, you're not prepared for the big one. I doubt California is, where all the lights going out. That's the night the lights went out in California. Unbelievable. The big one. It's coming to a Libby Lou, West Coast state near you. What you gonna do when the tsunami runs towards you?